from cars to movies. It could be another big weekend at the box office as the 9th and final film in the latest Star Wars saga hits theaters tonight. And this one has Hollywood Boulevard buzzing. Julia Boorstin is at the iconic El Capitan Theater in Hollywood.
Taking one last look, sir.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker opens around the world this weekend, the finale of the 9-film Star Wars saga. It's expected to bring in about $200 million in ticket sales at the North American box office this weekend. That would be the second biggest opening of the year and the 7th biggest opening of all time, but still behind the prior 2 Star Wars films' openings. The last 2 films had rave reviews. The Rise of Skywalker has just a 56% positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
I think in terms of this holiday, it just seems like it's going to be one of those movies that's going to have legs over the season, where it might not have the same opening as The Force Awakens, but I think it's going to be one of those that people are going to be talking about. I think the fans are going to really like this movie, and people are going to go see it several times.
Star Wars fans showing up in droves for the film's debut. This is one of 21 theaters around the country hosting overnight 9-film movie marathons ahead of The Rise of Skywalker's showing tonight.
The 500 tickets for this movie marathon at $125 a piece sold out within minutes. There's a lot of excitement for The Rise of Skywalker because Disney won't be putting another Star Wars movie in theaters for another 3 years. But the media giant still has a lot riding on the franchise, both at its theme parks and at its streaming service.
Disney spent over $1 billion on each of its Star Wars lands in Orlando and Anaheim, which opened earlier this year with slower than expected launches. And Star Wars spin-off The Mandalorian is the flagship show of streaming service Disney Plus, and it has several other live-action and animated series in the works.
Action.
But regardless of how The Rise of Skywalker performs, Disney has dominated the box office this year with about 1/3 of studio market share, setting it up for some tough comparisons next year when it doesn't have a Star Wars or Avengers film.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do, because this past year we've seen a lot of franchise movies that we've come to rely on, and they're sort of breaking new ground next year.
Next year, Disney's betting on Marvel's Black Widow and live-action Mulan and Jungle Cruise movies as it enters a galaxy beyond Star Wars. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Julia Boorstin in Los Angeles.